Kind of, yes. So this is talking about the Valve interview process. And scoring of Left 4 Dead is a classic question there, partially because it doesn't have just one answer to it. There's a lot of good answers and a lot of bad answers, and you let someone start answering it, and you can push them into different places and get feedback and get them to understand what they're going to, like how they're going to answer it and how they think about it. And it's really about showing the work, about talking it through and seeing how they'll do it. There's also one about like a sinking ship and story for Half-Life, and like there's some others if you go search online. I won't go through them all because I don't know it's all public. But they're all ways of like giving somebody who you can just say the one word kind of answer, and then you kind of twist that out and you make that not the right answer, and then they have got to kind of figure it out and talk out loud of their process and how they think about it and how they come to the solution, because that's how you want to see it. It's like somebody is, are they logically approaching this problem and working on it. And so the Valve interview process actually is, you start, let's say at 10 a.m. and you do a 50-minute interview, and you get interviewed by two people, sometimes three, but normally two. And then that 10-minute interview, that 10-minute window, those two people then go talk to the people who are doing the 11 a.m. interview. And they then say, hey, this person was really good at this, or we have this question, or we're worried about this, or hey, it was great. Just go do your regular interview. So sometimes you just go push to the next person, just do whatever they already planned to do. And some, because you'll say it ahead of time, like you'll plan what you're going to all do. And sometimes you'll be like, hey, we didn't get good feedback on this. We should just push this, and we should talk about this. And then noon comes around and they do lunch. That's me. I was a good lunch guy. And that's more the social, and just kind of trying to figure out some of like, I think what they're saying is really true. Like, is what we had one person get pretty far when I finally just had to ask, like, but have you actually done any of this, or are you just talking about doing this? And of course, they were just talking about doing this. And this is some of this stuff on the story side. We'll run into people that aren't, their backgrounds aren't as easy to evaluate of what they actually did or not did. But the whole process is to try to be like, hey, let's try to ferret out and understand this person and give them the benefit of the doubt. And then each person following will learn from the others and have a good understanding of like what they should be diving into, what they should be picking apart, what they should be celebrating. And again, I've done the interview side a bunch, but I did not go through the interview process. Instead, I hung out with Gabe for 3 days. You decide which one's easier. Oh, but this is also why I can get you an interview at Valve. I mean, I can't get everyone an interview at Valve, but like if you're somebody that I've worked with, and then like whatever, like if there's a good reason for have you get interviewed at Valve, I would have get people get interviewed at Valve, but I would always tell them, hey, it's up to you now. I have no input in this. I have no sway in this. These, group of people are going to make the decision. I can just give them the background. I can just give them the information about you. I can just kind of be your proponent at the setup. But then it's you, which is kind of a little weird, because sometimes it's just someone gets really, really nervous, right? And then that's like, sorry, man, but like we're going to evaluate you on how you do today, not the things we've heard about you, because we want to see how you really work with people. And sometimes for that lunch that I would do, I would just literally be like, hey, just chill this person out, calm them down. Like, Chet's not very bright. Let's just show them we hire people that aren't that smart. And I'd be like, hey, you like chicken? And then we would go eat. And then they would get more comfortable. And so that you would get the best person out of them. But it's also over the course of like that whole day of interview, your nerves kind of get out of you and you just become you. And also like anything that you were trying to present that isn't you comes out, and you just become you after a while as well, because it's a longer process. It's interesting. I think it really does work, and the job there isn't like, I've worked at places that are trying to hire and staff up and grow as fast as they can, and the job there is to hire as many people as they can. Where at Valve, the job is to not hire anybody, and that everybody they do hire has kind of earned that place in how people think, and they're not hiring for the position, they're not hiring for the job, they're hiring you to come work at Valve so that then you can go do like I did and just do a whole bunch of weird stuff like eat chicken at lunch to help interviews. It's a job, man. It's a job.